Dinka mythology refers to the traditional religion and folk tales of the Dinka tribe, an ethnic group located in southern Sudan, in Africa. The Dinka have a pantheon of deities. But out of their not so numerous gods, only 5 of the gods are considered as the majorly important and most revered gods of the Dinka religion, namely Nhiluk, Deng, Abuk, and Garang. And then the lesser twin gods, Kandit and Nalip. Now we take a look at each of these deities. 1. Nhiluk. Nhiluk was the supreme and creator god of the Dinka religion, whose abode was in the heavens. Nhiluk is said to have created the universe, and all that were in it. He is the god of the sky and rain, and the ruler of all the spirits. The Dinka believed him to be present in all of creation, and that he had the ability to control the destiny of every human, plant and animal on earth. Nhiluk is known by many other names, few of which are Asek, Chok, Jauk, and Shiluk. According to myths, Nhiluk created the first man called Garang, and the first woman called Abuk, out of clay. He made them quite tiny and placed them in a pot, which he then covered. When he uncovered the pot after a while, Garang and Abuk were fully grown. The myth narrated that, in the beginning, Nhiluk made the earth and the sky to be so close to each other, and connected them with a rope, so that people who wanted to see him, could climb up the rope, to the heavens. However, when the woman, Abuk, disobeyed him, he permanently withdrew from the earth, into the heavens. He also cut off the rope which joined heaven and earth, so that humans could no longer reach him. Still, Nhiluk did not forget all about mankind. He relegated his power, authority and duties to Deng. Thus, Deng took over as the god of the skies. 2. Deng. Deng is the sky god of rain and fertility, empowered by Nhiluk as the intermediary between humans and the celestials. Now there are different versions of how Deng came to exist. One version says that Deng was the son of Nhiluk, the supreme god. In another version, and in some areas of the Dinka tribe, Deng and Nhiluk were regarded as one god. They were considered as the same spirit. Another version states that Deng was the son of the primordial woman, Abuk. And in yet another version, Deng was born by an unknown woman who came from the heavens. This version narrated that a pregnant young woman appeared from the sky on a fateful day. The people celebrated her arrival and built a house for her. When her son was born, he had a full set of adult teeth, which was a sign of spiritual power, and he wept tears of blood. The woman told the people that her son would be their leader. Just as she said this, the rain fell in torrents, giving the boy his name, Deng, meaning rain. As foretold, Deng became their ruler. He ruled over the people for so many years. When he was old, and had grown bored of mundane life, he disappeared in a storm, or in a slight variation, ascended into the heavens, where Nhiluk made him the god of the skies and rain. Few stories say that when Deng had control of the skies and rain, he took Abuk as his consort, and had children with her. 3. Abuk. Abuk was a primordial. She was the first woman to be created by Nhiluk, alongside her primordial husband, Garang. Now Nhiluk was not much of a generous god. He told the first woman and man, Abuk and Garang, that they could plant and grind just 1 grain of millet a day for their food. This would hardly be enough for them. Nevertheless, they agreed, as they seemed to have no other choice. One day, Abuk felt really starved and hungry, so she disobeyed Nhiluk, and planted several millet grains. She used a long-handled hoe to secretly do the planting from heaven. But unfortunately, Abuk accidentally struck Nhiluk with her hoe. This, coupled with the fact that she disobeyed him, infuriated the chief god so much that he severed the rope which joined earth and the heavens, and then he withdrew from involvement with human affairs. Because of this, people had to work hard for their food, and illness and death came into the world. Abuk was later elevated to divine status as the patron goddess of women and gardens. She presided over women's activities, especially farming and the cultivation of millet. Her emblem was a small snake, but most times, the moon and sheep are included as her symbols. In some traditions, Abuk was the mother of Deng, the god of rain and fertility, while in other traditions, Deng was Abuk's lover. This version told that when Abuk rose to divine status, she could no longer be with Garang. So she had the rain god, Deng, as her new lover. For this reason, she is also associated with water. Abuk and Deng had two daughters together, namely, Kandit and Nyliup, who both drowned and became divine. 4. Garang. Garang was the first man on earth, together with his wife, Abuk. In some stories, Nhiluk created the first humans by blowing them out of his nose. Other accounts say humans originated from the sky and were placed in the river where they came as fully formed adults. Other accounts say that humans were molded as clay figures and placed to mature in pots. Nhiluk told them to multiply, and that their children would die, but would come back to life within or after 15 days. Garang protested that if nobody dies permanently, then there wouldn't be enough food. So Nhiluk changed his mind, and introduced permanent death. In a slightly different version, it was after Garang's wife, Abuk, disobeyed Nhiluk, that permanent death came to exist. Like Abuk, Garang was a primordial. But unlike Abuk, he did not attain a full god status. Thus, he was usually considered as a demigod, ancient, or titan. Some stories say that it was the rain god, Deng, who denied Garang a full divine status, and suppressed him. The Dinka tribes believe that it is Garang's suppressed spirit who causes most Dinka women, and some men, to scream. 5. Kandit and Nyliup. Kandit and Nyliup were the smaller deities, born from the union of the rain god, Deng, and the matron goddess, Abuk. They both came to earth, and fell into the river, where they became river deities. Kandit walked the earth in order to firmly establish her lineage amongst the humans, after which she returned to her home, in the river.